So back in the day, my friends and I used to run our own TeamSpeak server 24/7. It was private, simple, and completely under our own control. And if the past few weeks have reminded you of anything, it's that relying on third-party platforms isn't always the best long-term strategy. So today I'm going to show you how to run your own private voice server using TeamSpeak 3 inside of Docker, running inside your Homelab. No subscriptions, no platform risk, and full ownership. First, we're going to get it up and running, and then I'm going to show you a little bit on how we can secure it a bit better. I'll show you how you can get it port forwarded, and then talk a little bit about VPNs. So let's go ahead and build it. So here's what we're going to be building today. We're going to be deploying a TeamSpeak 3 server, running in Docker with persistent storage, with admin token retrieval, and secure access. And then we're going to go through two access models: public port forwarding and secure VPN. Now, before we do anything, as always, we do need to spin up a VM real quick. So we're going to spin up a separate Ubuntu server VM here to host our TeamSpeak server. I've already covered a few of these setups in my previous videos, but here's my process just a little sped up for now. Now that our VM's up and running, we'll go ahead and jump right into step 1, which is setting up our persistent storage with our project folder. SSH on into your server and run the command mkdir-p home TeamSpeak. This is where that persistent server data is going to sit, and we're going to set up our Docker run method. Before we do anything, we need to make sure that Docker's installed. So we'll run the curl-fssl getdocker.com command from the Docker website. Quickly set up your user so that you can run Docker just fine. And now we should be good to go. Switch on into the TeamSpeak directory. And now we can move on to the Docker run method. Here's the fastest way to deploy it. Copy and paste the script that I have down in the description. Run the script docker run-d, name TeamSpeak -e ts3 server _ license equals accept. And then we're going to do the 3 ports -p 9987 10011 30033. And then we're going to do -v TeamSpeak var ts3 server. And then we can put -- restart unless stopped, and finally TeamSpeak latest. So let me explain what's happening here. First, we're going to give the container a name, just TeamSpeak, so it's easy to manage later with Docker commands like docker logs or docker restart. Next, we need to explicitly accept the TeamSpeak server license agreement. The container won't start unless we pass this environment variable. That's just telling the server that we agree to the license so that it can boot. Port 9987 is a UDP port, and that's going to run our voice traffic. Port 10011 is for server queries, and then port 30033 is the file transfer port. The volume mount keeps your server persistent, and then the restart policy is set to unless stopped so that it restarts automatically upon reboot, and then we're using the latest TeamSpeak image. We'll go ahead and run this, and make sure it's running with a Docker PS. Step 3, we're going to get our admin token. The first time TeamSpeak starts, it generates you a privileged key. To retrieve it, use the command docker logs TeamSpeak, and then your token should be right here. Go ahead and copy this, and go ahead and temporarily store it into one of your text files, because we're going to need to use this to activate our admin rights. If you want to save it, make sure you put it into an encrypted file or something. Now, head on over to the TeamSpeak website and download their client. Once it's installed, we're going to go inside and go to bookmarks, and then select the plus sign here to add a new bookmarked IP. Make sure you use the internal IP of the server that you're hosting TeamSpeak on, as well as port 9987. Once we're logged in here, go ahead to the top and select, is this your TeamSpeak server? It'll prompt you for your token. and then you'll be granted admin access. Now, we can do a little bit of house cleaning here, but the main thing we're going to want to do quick is change our server name and then set a password so that no one can randomly join. Right-click your server name at the top here, and then go down and select Edit Server Settings. Once we're here, we can change the name of our TeamSpeak server overall, and then set a password for people to use when they join. You can also set your maximum user count here if you want to minimize it. Select Save Options and press Confirm, and you're all set. Now, as you can see, anybody that's not a server administrator is going to be prompted for a password every time they log in. Now, once that's done, all you have to do is forward port 9987 through your router, and your friends can join just fine. You can also forward port 30033 if you want to enable file transferring. At this point, your TeamSpeak server is fully operational. You've deployed it in Docker, made it persistent, secured it with a server password, and exposed only the ports that are absolutely required. That means your attack surface stays minimal and your infrastructure stays under your control. Your friends can now connect using your public IP, or even better, your domain name. If you want to clean this up, just create an A record. For example, I did ts3.jdsdesignlabs.com and just pointed it towards my public IP. Head on over to your domain provider. I use Ionos, and then go ahead and create an A record for your domain. Once we're here, we're just going to put in our host name. Now, you don't need to put in your entire domain. You just need to put in the prefix for it. So whatever you're going to put as the first 3 characters. So for my instance, I'm putting TS3. And then for points 2, you're just going to put in your public IP. And then they can connect using that domain name. That's it. Now you're really up and running. Share your password with your friends and send them your domain, and you're good to go. Now, if we want maximum security, you don't even have to expose any ports at all. You could run this behind a VPN like Tailscale or WireGuard, so only devices on your private network can access it. But for most people running a small private voice server with friends, exposing a single UDP port like this is perfectly reasonable. The key is to know exactly what you're exposing and why. That's the difference between just running software and actually running infrastructure. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I post new Homelab videos as often as I can. Let me know what you want to see hosted next, and I'll see you in the next video.